you want to start?
Do we do the...
That'll do.
That'll do. Am I starting or are you starting? I don't know. You can start. Okay, cool.
Hi guys, welcome to the Spiral Podcast.
It.
Why?
It's the I'm Scayered Podcast.
Oh, peak. Hi guys, welcome to the I'm Scayered Podcast. I'm Jesse.
I'm Luke.
And we've got some big stuff to start talking about today. Now, just as a little disclaimer, we have tried to film this 3 times in the past, so I know it seems like we've been lacking on doing the podcast, but that's not the case. We've been really trying. We tried 3 times, we went to go and edit it 3 different times, all of them failed.
Yeah.
But we have been lacking on our videos, and we do apologise for that, but that is because of the big news.
Yeah, we've been super busy.
That we are basically, to cut to the long and short of it, getting our own facility, parkour facility, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'll let Luke go into a little bit more detail about it now, about what we've been up to in that facility, how close we are to having the facility, and the last couple of steps that we have to go over.
So obviously there's not too much that we can say just yet because it hasn't all been finalised, but what we can say is that we are in discussion with a landlord and estate agent about a particular property, and essentially by the time that this video comes out, we are 99% sure that we're all going to be super positive and that the answer is going to be yes, we have secured that facility. We actually find out tomorrow on Thursday, so by the time this video is out, hopefully it will be smiles all around. But
that'll be so sick.
Yeah, it's a childhood dream of all of ours, and obviously thank you to everyone who's kind of supported us so far, and especially with our crowdfunder, but we can't say too much more than that other than we are very close. So yeah,
it's really good. Just a couple of the logistics of how close we actually are. You might go and look at our crowdfunder and see that we have I think we're at 91 supporters. We need to reach a goal of 100 supporters, so we're very close to hitting that. We have a festival line. We're doing a slot at a festival, the Bedford River Festival this year, 23rd and 24th.
4th, yeah.
Come and have a little look, see what we're up to. Come and say hi.
So we're going to be based on the sports island, and we'll be posting like images and videos on the day throughout social media, and we'll post like a little map of the location as to where you can actually find us, because once you do get into Bedford River Festival, if anyone hasn't been there before, which I don't think you been there, but yeah, it's mayhem. It's there's so many people there. I mean, 250,000 people are expected to come down, and when we did it 4 years prior in 2018, we must have seen easily just at our stall alone between 6,000 and 10,000 people, you know, in one day, and we were there both days. So yeah, come and look at us. We've got a big setup for you guys.
So hopefully with us running this Bedford River Festival stall, that will get us up to the supporter goal, because the way that we're going to run it is to come and take part in our stall, you need to donate to our crowdfunder and prove that you've donated to our crowdfunder.
Just £2.
Just £2. Nice and simple. 15 minutes of parkour fun.
Yeah.
So we're not very worried about that target. That target's going to be hit. The next target we have to aim for is £30,000 in donations. But we have already secured match funding of up to £20,000. So that means the only amount that we have left to make is £10,000.
Yeah.
Which again, if you look at the crowdfunder, you will see we're already at 3,650 odd.
Something like that.
So we've only got 5,500.
Yeah. So we've obviously got a fair bit left to go, but like Jesse said, with the River Festival coming up, that's going to help kind of drive that. And obviously we've still got, I think, 16 days left of the crowdfunder. So obviously we're doing the things that we need to do, approaching the companies that we need to get in hold with, and just kind of networking with the wider community. And then yeah, essentially we're going to go from there.
So yeah, really hopeful in that regard. So please come and give our crowdfunder a little check. If you can donate any money, that would be amazing to support our dreams and help support Bedford in improving their mental health, their physical well-being, and their problem-solving skills.
Yeah, and not only that, but what we're about, as well as what Jesse said, is kind of promoting that inclusion and diversity within sport and physical exercise. So the way that we operate is obviously we operate to anyone over the age of 4 years old. So it doesn't matter your background, your gender, your race, anything. We're happy to kind of get involved with you, and we'd love to welcome everyone on board. So one of our services are up there with one of the most inclusive that are around.
So, going on to what we're up to now. And
Yeah,
what
it's
we've
been busy.
doing.
You can probably tell we're tired.
Yeah, we've been doing so much recently.
And tomorrow we're heading to Brighton for Parkour UK's World Mental Health First Aid. And yeah, typical last minute, we still haven't booked any accommodation or anything like that. We've just been so swamped that, yeah, it's just kind of written us off.
Yeah, so much stuff has been put on the back burner recently just because a lot of things to do with the crowdfunder have picked up.
Yeah.
Originally, we started the crowdfunder just as a means to an end. We had to make a crowdfunder to apply for a grant, and we were kind of just like, oh, we'll make the crowdfunder. That's just going to be a waste of time, really. We're just going to make it to then apply for the grant.
Yeah.
Then it kind of just kicked off from there.
Yeah, I don't think we really realised how big of a deal the crowdfunder was in terms of these grants until obviously we start to have the conversations with the organisations that are supporting us now. And then obviously, you know, we quickly learnt that the crowdfunder is actually probably the main driving force. And a lot of the funding is kind of dependent on the success of that crowdfunder and how we do. So our heads were quickly kind of switched from our main focuses of like classes, coaching, clothing, videos,
kind of stuff.
And now we've just been a lot more. It's just got surreal very quickly to the point where, you know, we're contacting people regarding building arrangements for the new facility. We're looking at buying the equipment for the new facility. We've designed the new facility. Like, there's so much that we've got to do.
Trampolines, foam pits, resi pits, scaffolding, timber, cafe, reception. There's so much to go into this new facility that we can't wait to show you. But we can't show you until
Not
we get
just
that
yet.
Definitive answer of yes, you have this building.
Yeah.
But
we can tell you a little bit more about kind of what we plan to do with the facility, etc. But yeah, we'll come on to that a little bit later. At the minute, it's just like I said, our focus has very much been switched. So we obviously are still working on things like this podcast and our clothing. They just haven't been at the forefront of our focus. So apologies for that.
Speaking about the clothing, I do want to go over the spots line a little bit. The spots line has finally been finished. It's all been designed. Everything's ready to go. We are just going through the recording process now to make a nice video so that you guys can see it in its not as best of light as possible.
It's natural form as well.
Exactly. At the spots, with the spots on, doing bits on the spot.
Yeah, and it's been fun so far filming, getting back outside, but boy, it's been tiring. Yeah, I've taken a beating. Yeah, I've taken a couple of beatings, and I'm sure you'll see from the video when it comes out. There was a couple of bum slaps and shin bruises and stuff like that.
You've been through the wars recently.
Yeah, I've been through the wars, but I'm still here. What can I say?
It's all good.
Got my 9 lives.
We're hoping to have this the spots video. Well, when this is being filmed, within a week of this being filmed.
Yeah.
So for you, when you guys see it, probably
maybe a couple of weeks after that. Yeah, because we've
comes
still
out.
got to take the photos and actually publish the photos
And then
online,
start to
and then
release
obviously
it.
add it to the store. So yeah, I'm sure, as you can imagine already, like doing all of that on top of everything that we've got going on with the new facility, it's just been madness. Yeah.
One of the main things that we are working on now is, again, we still want to focus on clothing and videos, but we still now need to make money to fund building the facility.
Yeah.
The first target we had of the crowdfunder was to hit that 30,000 target. Now we kind of thought that we could have a little bit of a breather and kind of catch up with videos, but we're still going to struggle because now we need to work on the next target of however much it costs to fully kit out this gym.
And it's a lot. It's a lot.
We've worked out it is a fair bit, but there are manageable ways and bite-sized ways to attack this target, and it is 100% doable. Yeah. So we're looking at around
about £70,000 worth of kind of funds towards the whole facility, because this particular facility that we're looking at is just a shell. There is literally nothing in there. That there'll obviously be plumbing and electrics and stuff like that.
I mean, I saw a dead bird.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so that says it all. And great way to advertise the new gym. Come to Spiral. There's dead birds. Yeah, but it's literally just a shell. There's no toilets. There's no bathroom. There's nothing. So we've obviously got to build all of that on top of like the mezzanine. Again, we'll come on to this later. But yeah, equipment's looking at around £70,000. So obviously the kind of the work that we're doing throughout the summer, the grants that we're putting down, the networks that we're creating, and the sponsorships that we're seeing. The video stopped, as per usual. Please, Canon, GoPro, Nikon, someone sponsor us and help us, because we're dying over here. We're trying to keep up and we're just falling further behind because our lack of technology equipment
holding
and
us
stuff
back.
like that. Yeah, it's holding us back big time. So please, someone sponsor us. Help your boys out. We'll give you back. A promise. A promise.
We'll advertise you in the new building that we're going to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for real though, sponsorships, that was something we were kind of touching on before. Sponsorships is something that we are looking for. So we're looking to basically approach a number of different businesses and companies and just kind of either offer cash donations or equipment donations, or maybe even time for construction once the
So that
facility's
could be-
out, in return for like branding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That could be like timber, scaffolding. If you are an owner of a digital company, sending us
Camera
equipment
gear and stuff like that, because when we get the facility as well, we're going to need things like speakers and
Exactly.
a decent sound
The
system.
lights, your electricians, all the construction workers, anything like that. If you feel like you can offer a service, don't hesitate to contact us.
Yeah,
We'd love
'cause-
to work with everybody.
And we will be able to give back, because obviously, you know, what we do for the community is in the best interest of them. So this networking opportunity that you can have with us as a CIC is a great way to kind of get your brand out there to a wider network of people as well. So yeah, anything you have, hit us up. But I'm sure you guys are probably wondering why we even needed to crowdfund in the first place, because it kind of just came out of nowhere. We were just like, bang, we're trying to get a gym, and everyone was like, what? Oh, that's pretty cool. But I don't think they realised how serious it was.
No, definitely. 'Cause we didn't really realise how serious it was until we were just swamped with more and more.
Yeah, it was a bit mad. So basically, the situation was myself and Jesse, we approached Trinity and we said, guys, we really enjoy working here. We've got a good relationship with them, and we would like to expand. So if anyone currently comes to our classes, you've probably seen the progression in kind of the number of participants that are in the class. As the months go on, yeah, it's just increased exponentially. So we're getting to the point now where a lot of the classes are either full up or getting kind of filled.
Just for an example, our minis had a waiting list.
Oh my god, of 8 people,
kids.
which is the maximum
And
size
then
that we offered
we
at that
opened
time.
up the class, and as soon as that class got opened, it was full, and had
a waiting
another
list
waiting
again,
list of
yeah.
8 children.
So that's
So
a
getting
pretty cool
back to
achievement.
back waiting list on that.
So yeah, obviously, you know, kind of we needed more space in terms of the timings that we could actually access the facility, and then the other thing was we needed more storage, because you've probably seen our storage cupboard. It's
Pile
tiny.
high.
It's literally probably not much bigger than this room that we're in now. So
Yeah, and imagine everything stacked on top of everything as
Yeah.
well. It's not just put on the floor. We put the vaults on top of the vaults.
Yeah.
Mats on top of the
that's the
towers.
thing. This is the stuff that a lot of
literally
these guys
just thrown
don't
up
see,
on
because
everything.
most people don't really see us packed down. But if you have seen us packed down, it is a mission.
If you do not do it the right way,
You
does
make it
not
hard.
happen.
Yeah, it does either doesn't happen, or you make it extremely hard for the next person who's kind of in the centre the next day, and that might not even be us. That might be like members of staff from Trinity. So yeah, you kind of have to do it one way, and even that one way is not practical. Like, we've got mats that are stacked up to the ceiling, and if you imagine some of the juniors, especially Ryan, he's like 3 foot tall, so he's not going to be able to reach up there properly, and he's like a stick anyway, so he doesn't weigh much. He can't really pull it off. So yeah, most of the time it's just us seniors being swamped with the heavy stuff, which then obviously knackers you.
It
So.
was so funny when we were like, Ryan, can you get out the tower legs?
He's
I
like-
can't reach it.
Bless him. But yeah, essentially we approached Trinity and we said, we want to make you guys a deal to expand the amount of time that we're in the facility, expand the storage space, etc., and basically claim the room as ours. Because another thing that kept happening is we kept getting moved around, and I'm sure you guys have probably experienced this, where you've shown up a week, or you're in the cafe, or you've had an email about a class closure. Honestly, we apologise from the bottom of our hearts. There's genuinely nothing we can do about it.
It's out of
Even
our hands.
even us, we're getting frustrated by it, because, you know, in our contract it says that we've got it for these times and stuff like that, and then it's being swapped. So don't worry, we've kind of been through the conversations that we need to have with the relevant people, and it's now being sorted, and hopefully it shouldn't be too much of an issue going on in the future, but we should be out of there soon anyway.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, they came back to us, and essentially they went, we're going to up your rent by £16,000.
So that if that's not a random number for you, that is more than double what we were paying.
Yeah.
When we don't even have more than double the hours when we started.
Yeah.
And we started the contract on you can have as many hours as you want for this price basis.
Yeah. So each time that we kind of got to the stage where we needed to open another class, we'd go to the team there and we'd obviously ask them, is it okay to put this class on? What's the additional price? Excuse me, I'm really gassy. But there was no additional price, and it basically stayed like that for the whole year. And this was something that I kind of kept asking for a little while, because obviously I was worried that, you know, if we opened too many classes, then we might not be able to afford the rent. I wanted to make sure that we were in a position where we could do that. So yeah, I was always very vocal about that, and the deal stayed the same the whole way through until I brought up this offer about expanding. And I think basically what the long and short of it was, they looked at the contract and said, why are they paying this much and they're only offering this much? And then just went, well, I'm going to up their rent because their contract's up for renewal in I think it was like 20 something days. It was up for renewal. So obviously didn't even give us the month's notice. And we were like, absolutely not. Whilst we agree that potentially an increase in rent may be obviously beneficial to them, because we've got more hours, it's unfair the way that it was done, because we were explicitly told one thing and now we're having to suffer for that. So yeah, the long and short of it, we're now paying £10,500 more each year for Trinity, with no additional use, no additional storage, and still class closures and stuff like that.
No car park.
No car park. So the other day I went to go pick up my car, and it was £3.50, which doesn't sound like a lot. But if you imagine, sometimes we're in there like 8 hours a day, sometimes we're in there 4 hours a day. The car parking is always a minimum of 50p and a maximum of £3.50. So let's just say we're paying £1 each day. We're paying £365 a year for parking, which is absolutely absurd. On top of the rent, yeah. So this has basically led us to a position where we're paying X amount for this, and it's not worthwhile, when we could be paying X amount for this and have our own space and all of these pros and all of these cons. And we were just like, nah, we need to do it, because it's going to get to the point where it's actually worse for our members and our community. Absolutely. Because it was just causing too many issues.
And just to reiterate like how out of order this price change is, to rent a warehouse facility that is more than the size of Trinity, where we could go in 7 days a week, 24 hours if we wanted to, is £24,000 a month.
Absolutely ridiculous.
We're currently paying Trinity a year. We're currently paying Trinity 22,000 for 36 hours.
22,500
for 36 hours of access.
And we're going to have to pay car parking on top of that. So if you consider, I'm basically paying like a minimum of £500 car parking. Jesse's probably paying maybe about half of that, because I do more of the driving. And then Jamie's probably doing a considerable amount less, who's our equipment manager. Nevertheless, people are still having to pay to park. And if you imagine, if we've got a lot of things to take in from the car, because we obviously can't get deliveries taken straight to Trinity all the time, we've got to carry all of that stuff over. The other thing is, the car park shuts at 8 o'clock. What time do our classes finish? 8 o'clock. The other day, me and Jesse and who else was with us? Someone else was with us. Was it just me and you? We went to the car park and we completely forgot that it closed at 8 o'clock. Every gate and door was shut. Our cars were locked in the car park, and we were panicking for a minute, because we both live in Milton Keynes. So as it is, it takes a long time to get back home. Most nights we're not home until like 9 o'clock anyway. So now the fact that we'd left late, it was about 8:25, and the car park was locked, we were like, oh my god. And then we saw a cleaner, and I was just like, yo, I just shouted him. And then I think at first, once he got the people that were in charge of the car park, they were a bit like, oh mate, it's 8 o'clock, it shuts. And I think they quickly realised that neither of us were going anywhere anytime soon. And they were just like, I want to get home, so I'm going to open these gates and let these guys through.
Yeah, because as soon as we saw people in there, I had already decided that I was just going to climb up and in. And once I was in there, they're going to have to open the gate to let me out anyway, so to get the car while I'm there.
You gotta do what you gotta do, people. What can I say?
It's alright. They definitely were like, looked us up and down. Another guy came around the corner and was like, nah, just let him in, it's whatever.
So yeah, it worked out in our favour. But as you can see, like, every possible aspect of Trinity at the minute is just a bit stress, and that's nothing to do with the people that work there at all in the building itself. That unfortunately it goes a little bit higher than that, and it kind of goes along with the board. And obviously I'm fully aware that they're going to see this, but obviously they'll also see that we've moved on to kind of bigger and better things, and they may or they may not kick themselves in the foot a little bit, because we were driving a lot of people through that centre, and if you speak to any of the staff members there, they'll fully back us all the way. So absolutely. Yeah, it is what it is, but that's why we did what we needed to do, and we had to start crowdfunding.
It's gone so well.
Yeah. This podcast is a bit shady, isn't it, really? I'm the Slim Shady. What's the real Slim Shady? Please stand up.
We're keeping it in line with the last one. A little bit of shade at Rob.
Woo, Kobe. Yeah.
No shade intended. We're just saying things like how we are. We're not getting on here to kind of go. He said, she said this.
Yeah. Just saying it as it is, because a lot of people.
This is our story. We're just documenting the story as we go.
Yeah, and a lot of people will obviously watch this and want to know what's going on, because we obviously realise that sometimes we have to take breaks from like social media because of the fact that we're so busy. So a lot of people are left in the lurch, and they're like, they want to know what's going on, because at the end of the day, it's our community who are investing the time and the money into our services. So if we're not fully open about it, then why would they want to do that? This is the easiest way to do it, because you just see us waffling on. So yeah,
and then we don't feel bad because we've not had to go, don't talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it annoyed me more when I've had to speak to companies before and they've given me a plain-faced lie about something. I'm just like, bro, just tell me as it is. I'd rather hear it that way. So if it upsets you, then peak. But yeah.
So I think we should move on to start talking about what we've got lined up for summer.
So
summer is going to be a busy one.
Mad.
We've got about...
I'm already tired.
Is it 5?
4.
We've got 4 holiday camps running throughout the summer simultaneously. Now, we've only got about 9 members of staff. 10
I think we've got 10 members of staff. Oh, CJ. CJ is now officially part of our coaching team. Big up my boy CJ Khaled. If anyone knows CJ, he's been on our YouTube for a while now, and he's always been part of the team. But he's a little bit younger than us, and he's only just finished uni. He's graduated this year. Well done, son. And now he's back, and he's here to stay. So you guys will get to meet CJ. Absolutely great coach. Absolutely great athlete. Rewind, my selector.
We were just talking about CJ and CJ coming into the team and you guys meeting him. I think that's all of the team members now are back on Spiral.
Yeah, pretty much.
Apart from Joe,
Joe's the only missing one.
He's still in and out.
Yeah, Joe is living in Bristol at the minute, so
Bristol boys.
Look after him. He's a smart kid, but he ain't got much common sense, bless him. So look after my boy Joe. Might lose him more than once. But yeah, essentially he kind of comes down if we are in a position where we're kind of desperate for help, and he's always gonna be there and support us. And he's been a member of the team basically since the same time Omar joined the team. So literally OG Spiral boy. Yeah.
Going back on to finally what we're doing for summer. Summer's going to be absolutely manic because we've got 4 different camps running simultaneously. That is our camps, the Spiral Freerun. That's the Bedford Borough camps. If you have access to free school meals or that general kind of benefits vicinity, you can come and get free classes with us. We are running Bedford Modern camps.
And I don't know much about the booking and stuff like that. I think they might already be sold out because
they just came up.
And I've been told by Win, who obviously kind of deals with our booking on that side, that basically every single time it goes onto the system, bang, sells out with. I think the first time it sold out within 21 minutes, and the system proper crashed.
21 minutes.
So, I got 21 minutes to go. So I don't really know much about that, but obviously it's going to be running at Bedford Modern, 9 o'clock until 4:30. In terms of booking, I think that's kind of been and done. And that's the same with the Fun for Young People, which is our last one.
Yeah, the last one is the Fun for Young People charity camp that we're running. So we're going to be working with Fun for Young People to offer activities during their holiday camps. So if you do want to go and work with Fun for Young People, or send your child to Fun for Young People, go onto their website, go through their links, and then try and book on with us. Because don't want to be big-headed, but every time we go to these kind of events, we always end up as the biggest and the best. It's they always get like a little
feedback form
to fill out, and it's always 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah,
9,
Bedford
10.
Borough, Fun for Young People, and Bedford Modern, all of those, we were like the top-rated one. And I'm pretty sure someone told you the other day that at the athletic stadium,
the athletic stadium,
because I think they had to do a similar sort of thing.
Well.
So we're trying, and we're working super hard to kind of build something for you guys and obviously ourselves. And there are big things coming.
Now, what all of this money profit is going to go towards, what we earn from summer, is all going straight back into kitting out the facility.
Yeah.
So if you can come to an event or one of these summer camps that we're running, please do, because it supports the event. It supports our facility greatly.
One thing that might be worth mentioning, because probably many people don't actually know this. We're a not-for-profit organisation,
Yeah.
you know, everything that we do, the money doesn't just come to like me, Jesse, Omar, all the staff. The money goes straight back into the company. So the idea is that we are building something which is amazing for the community and everyone to use, and it's accessible.
And it's never in our best interest; it's in the community's best interest always.
And you know, if we've got loads of money sitting in the account at the end of the month or the end of the year, that is the money that goes back in there, or we save it to deliver a project or something like that to give free classes. So yeah, it just makes it a little bit kind of more comforting for you guys to know that, you know, when you are attending our services, it's not us who are sat here benefiting from this. It's the actual idea of Spiral itself and what we're doing for the community.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And then is that all we've got going on in summer? But that runs a whole
that's pretty much it. The Bedford Modern camps start on the second week and run for the second, third and fourth week. The Fun for Young People ones start on the first week and go through to the second week. Our camps run the whole 6 weeks, and the half camps run for the first 4 weeks.
Just so you know how busy we're going to be, we wrote out the document, and then in the document of where all the staffing is going to be, it ended up with me working 7 days a week somehow. Yeah,
that sounds horrible. So let me conflict this.
It wasn't.
He may be working 7 hours a week, but I'm actually working more hours during the week. So it swings and roundabouts. Yeah. But yeah, obviously.
So we're just gonna throw juniors on.
Yeah, with the juniors. To be fair, let's give them some credit. Them boys have been absolutely killing it. I think we might have even mentioned this in the last one, which failed. But Ryan, it was officially our first junior coach to fully complete his training and go into a £10 an hour wage, which is incredible for an 18-year-old doing parkour for £10 an hour.
And now, since filming that, we've got Ed as well.
Ed is now on that wage as well. So yeah, you know. Yeah, he's like a full assistant coach now. They're part of the senior team. So it's just amazing. And, you know, the boys now have got their first aid qualifications and stuff like that, so they can teach by themselves, which it helps us massively, so because there has been a lot of times where either me and Jesse or me, Jesse and Omar have been like, boys, I'm sorry, you're going to need to step up today, because they're in anyway. And if you imagine from our perspective, if we're in extra days, you know, it's not like we pay ourselves more or anything like that. So for us, it's like, if they're there and they're being paid, then let them do their job. And it's kind of hard sometimes to take that little step back. But yeah, especially it has been necessary.
Like last 2 months when we've had to work on this crowdfunder, we've really had to just go, boys, we need your help right now while we're going to these meetings, these events. Contacting people and just trying to get everything to fall into place, and they have really helped us.
And that is really important for you guys to know, because obviously you are used to having a certain coach, and
we do feel bad for
we feel horrible because
I feel awful
I know that
I've got so much to do, I just can't.
Kids build up a relationship with you, and obviously you build up a relationship with them, and they look up to you. So you know, if you it's like if you were a kid and you had a coach and then you came in and they weren't there, you'd be a little bit disappointed. So of course, like, we understand there may be frustrations, but yeah, hopefully that now that this podcast is coming out, you guys can start to understand a little bit more about the decisions that we're making. And
it's frustration now, sick facility later.
But also, I also want to say, like, thank you to everyone, because not a single person has been like, Luke, Jesse, why are the juniors doing the classes, this and that. Everyone's taking it in their stride, and they're really happy to see them shine. And you know, there's a lot of stories that I could tell you about the backgrounds of these juniors, but it's not for me to go into. And if you even heard a portion of the stories which we have about these guys, you would, it's incredible where they've come from and where they've got to. It is thoroughly amazing. So super proud of all you guys. Big up Sam, big up Gary, Ed, Ryan, and obviously Connor, junior coach from Fun for Young People as well. You guys are killing it. Shout out to Emmy as well, because he came from Bedford Sixth Form for the work experience. Absolutely aced it. So obviously another student that we're kind of looking at enrolling in the near future, and then a couple of other students we've got our eye on as well. So yeah, keep doing your thing, people. We really appreciate it.
Do we have anything else to talk about on this?
Main things to talk about now is just our plans for the facility, because obviously at the minute we're in a position where we haven't got the facility. We haven't concrete got the facility. We've got it like 95% sure, but we're just waiting for that one final email. Literally one final email. That's what we're waiting for. So, you know, regardless of whether we get this facility or we have to wait, you guys still need to know the plans as to what we're trying to do. So I guess I'll let Jesse say what will happen if we don't get this particular facility first. That'll probably make sense. Go that way.
Okay, so if we don't get this particular facility, there are two backup plans. The first backup plan is there is another unit on site right next to the original site that we're going for, which is 10,000 square foot. Now that's a lot bigger, which means we'll have a lot more scope to do different things and build a much more bespoke parkour facility with more to offer. But it is a big chunk to bite at one time, especially where we are right now. If we did take it at the price for 10,000 square foot, I'm assuming that it would be 3 times the amount for our 3,000 square foot one currently.
Yeah.
We could not afford that.
Yeah.
Eventually, we definitely would be able to afford it, but taking that initial hit up until we can afford it would potentially sink us, and it's not a risk that we're running to take.
Yeah.
But there has been a few conversations where we might be able to have a third of the facility, and then increase to half the facility and then the whole facility, or we might be able to have the whole facility for a number of years at a discounted rate, so we build our clients. That's a conversation to have in the future, but that is a backup plan that the landlord has spoken to us about. Now, the second backup plan is that we stay within Trinity, and we do have a contract starting that we would pay them 30,000 a year, and we would be able to bolt into the walls and room there. We don't want to do that.
No.
We really don't want to have to do that, because again, we have to deal with a car park as it is. We will still have to pack certain things down at certain points so that they can have exams in the area.
Yeah.
And we can only come in on their time frame. We wouldn't even be able to have keys to the building, and we're paying $6,000 more a year. So what's the point?
Yeah, crazy. Not only that, but obviously Trinity for us was an amazing space, and you know, it was really pivotal in our growth.
Yeah.
And honestly, hats off to the guys that, you know, manage that facility, because we wouldn't have been able to grow to the extent we are without them. But unfortunately, it has now just reached that stage where it's now a limiting factor to our progression. And obviously, as you guys have seen, it's kind of just gone exponentially. And obviously, we're not going to sit here and go, well, we're ready to move on, but we're not going to move on because we're scared. Nah, we do parkour, we're scared all the time. We take these jumps and we take these risks, and this isn't a risk for us. This is a great opportunity. Yeah, calculated risk. No, I don't even think it's calculated risk at all.
Calculated venture, not calculated risk. What do you mean?
Going on an adventure, man.
Adventure. Walk a bit.
So yeah, essentially that's the backup plan for if it doesn't go through. And just kind of a little bit more on the back of that is obviously we'd continue to save that money that we get through from the funding, etc. Put it into a pot, and then eventually when we've got that money, just go
restart
bang.
And just really push for it.
Yeah, and then what we're doing if we do get the facility. So that's where it gets...
When we get the
facility. This is where it gets a bit mad, because, you know, it's actually concrete and written down then, and you see it, and it's like that one thing that you've literally dreamt of since you were young is there, and it's like, but then also on the back of that, you've got a lot more responsibility. Now you're now responsible for a property and all these payments and stuff like that. You might hear my woofer in the background.
Completely different, like taxes. You got business rates.
It's crazy.
There are so many.
We've got to learn all of this
that we now need to learn.
We're idiots. We do parkour. That's why we do parkour.
So it's going to be a fun learning curve. We figured out quite a lot of that part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
nah. On a serious level though, we do learn everything we know as we go. We learn it on the job because we have to, you know. I don't think any of us studied business in school. Maybe camera cut out again, 4th time now, so good job. We've got our boy O'Mizzle on deck
watching.
Yeah. Engineer Omar the engineer. But yeah, where were we? I forgot. Short-term memory loss. Call me Dory. Shall we just
So the camera cut out again, and we tried to record, but then we had some woofers and some droppage of phones. We were just kind of going over. I don't know
either.
I completely forgot.
Please help us, people.
Yeah, honestly, we got so much to think about.
ADHD brains, just like.
What were you doing? I don't know. I'm thinking about the gym.
Oh yeah, we were saying learning everything as we go. So yeah, I don't think anyone really like studied business or anything like that.
I did business studies.
Okay, so yeah,
that as GCSE.
Yeah, so if anyone did,
finish the GCSE because the school system sucks.
Yeah, so if anyone did it, it was like on a basic level. I certainly, for one, didn't. So everything we're doing, from music production to video production to podcast, which clearly we're awful at, clothing production, everything like that, we learn it on the go. And that's the same with like the legalities, the insurance, etc. And if you imagine, that's a large responsibility to take on. But yeah, that's what we're kind of gonna have to do as the next sort of phases. We're already looking at, obtaining prices for equipment, and I think that's probably where we'll start. I know you're quite excited about specifically what's going inside there, so I'll let Jesse touch on it, and then I'll just fill in some prices to kind of give you a rough estimate as to what we're looking for.
So with the overall facility, obviously we're going to have a big parkour setup, we're going to have a bar setup, because the main aspect of the facility is to teach parkour. That's going to cost quite a fair chunk of the money.
I think we estimated around £22,000 for all the wood supplies,
So, like,
and that's not including like screws and fixings and bolts and stuff like that. That's just kind of like mass production materials we need.
Just like wholesale.
Yeah, just wholesale. So obviously it's going to be a little bit more than that. But yeah, we're looking between £22,000 and £25,000 for that, and that's just the parkour section.
Around, I think it said about 10,000 for scaffolding structure.
No, it wasn't that much. It was only like 2,000 or 3,000.
But then we're going to need the hinges as well, and that's what.
I think we estimated between 2,000 and 3,000 for scaffolding.
So I'll push it up to 5,000 just because.
Yeah, we've always basically with everything we've done, this is kind of the process we've gone through. We've said it's going to be this much. Let's add this much on,
and then we just go from there.
Yeah.
So that is just like the main nitty gritty of the facility, just building up the walls.
Yeah.
We need to build a reception facility. That's going to cost a bit of money.
Yeah.
That reception facility needs to be strong enough to hold a workshop above it.
And an office.
It's going to be such a bit of money.
Yeah.
Under the office, we plan to have a cafe so that when you guys come in, the
hot
students
drinks.
can come in, they can come and train. If you're watching, you can come and get some food, get a little drink, have a relax, go and sit upstairs, watch the classes, see what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to our open gym, you get hungry halfway through, come and get a panini.
There you go.
Nice
Sorted.
and easy. We have the workshop upstairs with the office, which is going to be what our current workshop is, but just moved into a much nicer, bigger space where we can actually do the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about, if you don't know about clothing designing and clothing developing, you've got three main methods. You've got direct to transfer, like printing. You print off something, you stick it down on the t-shirt, and then you heat press it. You have vinyl. You cut out a vinyl shape, you stick it on the t-shirt, you heat press it, and then you've got it's called screen printing, where you create a screen template and you slide ink onto the t-shirt. We don't have the space for the final one, and that's probably the highest quality clothing designing method.
Yeah, so obviously with that one, because the ink's kind of pressed directly into the t-shirt, that one is, it's a lot more durable, and you don't have like excess layers, which is good for some garments, obviously not ideal for all garments, but having that mixture is obviously what we ideally want to do for kind of ideal production.
So just all of that itself is basically building a structure within the building.
Yeah, and don't forget the mez, obviously.
Between that and the mez, we feel like that's going to cost a good 30.
I was going to say, I think we estimate about 25 to 30,000 because things like the office and the workshop, in terms of the actual box layout of the room, that can be done in house by the members of our team, including like Jamie, and obviously we're seeking support from local companies and stuff like that. But other areas like the cafe, which is more bespoke, and the mezzanine, obviously we can't do ourselves. So between 25 and 30 somewhere. So it's quite a lot.
Then that's the admin reception area where people come in. Bit done. Now going on to the main facility. I've spoken about how we're going to have the parkour section, the wall section. There's going to be a high zone, a medium zone, and a low zone to all of these sections, so that anyone can come in at any ability and start working on progressions. One area that I'm very excited for is we're going to have an ascent and a descent area, which I don't know many places have. I think I've seen a few.
Yeah, I think definitely there's more so in America.
Yeah.
I don't know of any in the UK. I could be very wrong. Me personally, I'm quite looking forward to that because it's one of those things where I've always loved to try, but I also I'm not really with the danger aspect of it. It is very, very risky. So I think, having it in the gym environment is so much nicer because then you don't feel that need to go out and train something that you may or may not be comfortable with. So
on top of that, we're going to have a resi floor.
That's going to cost about 7,000 for the resi pit,
which is going to be right in front of the sprung floor. We're going to have a spring floor.
That's going to cost about 9,000. So.
And then we're also looking to have a foam pit.
Yeah, which is going to cost about 5,000, and a trampoline, which is about 6,000. So
trampoline built into the ground as well.
Yeah, so tramp goes to resi, high zone goes to resi, spring floor goes to resi, and then there's like a medium zone which goes into the foam pit.
And then there's another high zone by the descent section that can also go into the foam pit.
Yeah.
With bar overhanging. So there's access to bars to the pit, high areas to the pit, low areas to the pit, springs to the pit, so you can work on a number of different areas. And the way that we've set it up as well, there were walls overhanging either one side of the resi or one side of the foam pit, so you can work, I think it was left side wall tricks into the resi, right side wall tricks into the foam pit, so it doesn't matter what side you're on. We've tried to design the space that we have as ambidextrously as possible.
You all know we're a big advocate of ambi, yeah, especially me. I love everything ambi, just because it's so good for, like, say you're gonna do a running pre, you accidentally take off on your right and you're a lefty, you're mid-air at this point. If you don't know what you're doing, you're done out. So I'm a big advocate of ambi, so that's definitely going to be a big factor in the gym. Oh, don't. So essentially that's pretty much it in terms of our plans for the facility. Obviously we've got like 3D models and stuff that we've constructed. You'll be able to see those soon. There's a lot that we can't say, obviously, because we haven't got that official final yes.
And we'll feel terrible going, oh, we've got it.
Oh, we haven't got it.
We don't have it.
Yeah. So once we get that yes, we will show you everything, and we're going to have everyone's input. It's going to be amazing. Hold tight, it is coming. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. So that's pretty much us wrapped up. So
thanks for listening to the I'm Scayered podcast. I've been your host, Jesse.
I've
my
been Luke.
Lovely assistant.
Bro, what in the bomber fire's going on? I'll let that one slide.
That is all good.
I quite like being the assistant for once. I get to sit down on my butt and do nothing. No shade, juniors.
He absolutely needs it. He's proper broken at the moment.
Oh yeah, real quick.
We're gonna go over how broken Luke's been.
I'm on the stage to Jesse, so if you guys don't know, Jesse had a spinal injury and it mashed him up for like 3 years. He couldn't sit in cars. I think we touched on it in the last episode. Yeah, he was literally a salmon in the cars. Basically, had you slipped a disc or herniated?
I bulged a disc and then crushed it.
There you go. So that's what he did. I've just bulged the damn thing. So basically, if you imagine where your spine is, it's pushing the disc out and it's applying pressure, which flicks across like a nerve, and it's agonizing. Some days you can't sleep, you can't move. Yeah, it's awful. So I went through a stage where I was killing it, and now I'm just having to take a bit of a step back just because it's your back, man. You can't mash up your back. You can't. Yeah, you can't.
I messed around with it 3 years out.
Yeah. So if y'all see me being a little bit lazy, that's why my body's done out.
Just to,
I've got 2 pillows. There you go, 3 pillows.
And he had the stitch pillow a second ago, just sitting there with the neck pillow, just proper, just
hear me now.
The whole setup.
Yeah, what are you saying?
So he needs a bit of TLC.
Please love me.
That is pretty much everything caught up with what we've been up to.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
It's been hard, and hopefully it's recorded.
Hopefully.
It might be at this point, and then who knows, the laptop might just
we'll find out in about 2 minutes.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you in a bit.
Peace.
See ya.